How you guys? I know it's been a while, maybe a week or so, but I was doing some etymology work, uh, breaking down root words, and I was doing research on something else I was working on, and it stopped me in my tracks. Um, you have this divine orchestra, orchestrate all these different key components put together, right? And that's who we are as a whole. Say somebody is a trumpet, and somebody else is a flute, someone else is a cello, someone else is like a piano. You all have your particular job and function within this orchestra. Now, what's happening is we're all supposed to be on one accord. Chord, as in, um, string chords or to strike a chord. You understand? We are working in tandem to a specific rhythm, a specific beat, a specific verse, because there's only one. We're only in one song, and we have to keep the rhythm. One rhythm. Only one rhythm. Universe. One, uni, verse, rhythm. Writing put to a particular rhythmic pattern. All this stuff has already been written. It reminds me, I'm getting in my head, this call will be monitored or recorded for your, you know, quality assistance. Like, it's being recorded every go round. We're getting closer and closer to the climax of the verse. You see, all these different eras failed to keep the rhythm, and there has always been a almost like I see an artist writing out, handwriting music, sheet music, balling it up and throwing it away. He hears this rhythm in his head, and he's got to get it right. But somewhere along the lines, it takes its own shape, it takes its own form, and it gets out of rhythm, scraps it, and starts over. That's what's pretty much has been the tone of things thus far with this universe. And so, you as a flute, you as a trumpet, you as a cello, you as a piano, you're designed to play a specific rhythm, a specific portion of this verse. And you're with other flutes, or you're finding other cellos or finding other pianos that are on your octave, above or below it, or at the same tone, the same vibration, the same pitch. Now, you've been hanging out with triangles and shit, and you can't focus on your rhythm because you're a string. You know what I mean? You're not working on your rhythm, your tone, your pitch, your natural part of the pattern. This rhythm isn't complete without you. There's no way that we can get on one accord if flutes are hanging out with, drums. They have a different rhythmic pattern, tone, frequency. And is not to divide any particular instrument from the piece. It's all inclusive. It's just that if you're not playing your part, who's going to play it? You can't come in with the bass. You can't come in with the strings. If you're a woodwind and you have a specific time to interject or to be heard or have your solo or what have you, we're not playing by our own song. We're already in an orchestra. We're one band, one sound. That's pretty much what it is. And it's like getting all of the college bands together to play one big ass song, and Earth is fucking up. And you have every other planet who has their specific role, all the asteroids, all the moons, and those celestial forces that are out of our control. They have their shit in rhythm. They always do what they always do. And we're the variables. We're the ones who are trying to figure out who the fuck the conductor is. Who are we supposed to be listening to? And the thing is, naturally, you are a fucking flute, piano, drum, triangle, trumpet, sax. You are what you are, and you have the rhythm in you. It's just what you are, right? So when you forget who you are, you forget what your function is. You forget what your frequency is. You forget what your pitch is. You forget the rhythm that you're naturally supposed to be exuding. You understand? And the thing is, all the rhythm, the verse, the pattern has been divided into different genres, okay? You have people who like music. There's jazz, there's contemporary jazz, there's rhythm and blues, and then there's, hip hop / R&B, and then, there's bluegrass, and then there's country, and then there's, all these different variations of the same rhythm. Not to speak down on music, but we're all to be on one accord. So if you have a sax that wants to branch out and do its own thing, not in alignment with the rhythm, even though they can be seen and heard in their solo and be an intricate part still of this rhythm where it doesn't skip a beat, that's not what's happening. We have divided the verse so much so that no one knows who the conductor is and who to listen to. We don't read the same sheet music. We don't have the same objectives. And that throws the rhythm off. So you have Pentecostal, the Kabbalah, Baptist, Methodist, Catholicism, Buddhism, Judaism, Taoism, all these isms. And it's throwing off the verse because they're still arguing about who the fuck the conductor is, instead of each intricate part of that instrument. That sax has many buttons. To perform With the sax, you have to learn the tone of each. If I press this, what does it do? If I press that and, blow into it, what does it do? What does it sound like? Is it, you know what I mean? You're just fine tuning your instrument. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are. It matters how you play your part, how you keep the rhythm. Okay? One verse, one pattern, one rhythm. And the thing is, people are trying to stray from it to. And then you have some people who are like, well, who says there is a conductor? Who says there is a rhythm? Who says, they're questioning all the wrong things except for what am I doing and what is my part? So I know this is very vague and it's metaphoric and all of that, but we have to get the components down, the basic components down, before we can start to defy gravity, before we can start to defy the fact that there is even an orchestra, before we can defy the fact that there is even a rhythm. We know that there is a rhythm. Everything goes off of vibration, frequency, pitch. Keep that in mind. And don't try to figure out what instrument you are. Just, when you're not on the right chord. You get an innate knowing, because as a saxophone, you're not trying to compete with the piccolo. You're not trying to perform the same sound. You have your own pitch. You have your own tone, your own voice, your own instrumental part in the orchestra. Find your rhythm. Find your pitch. You know what I mean? You don't, and then people say, walk to the beat of your own drum. Don't take that literally. I mean, you have an innate rhythm within you. And they say, just even something simple as them, saying that somebody can't dance or something like that, they're on a different rhythm. So what's being played that they're attempting to dance to, it does not suit them. That is not their rhythm. That's not their pitch. That's not their vibration. So even if they can sense it and feel it and move to it, it seems odd because it is not their rhythmic pattern. It is not a part of the part that they're to play. So they're attempting to be a sax with a piccolo. You understand? So, I mean, find out your rhythm. When they say know thyself and go within and do all the soul searching, just find your pattern, find your rhythm. And you can be attracted to a lot of different patterns and rhythms and this and that. But what's natural to you may not be going out every weekend and socializing. But it may not be being at home, being a couch potato either. There's a certain rhythm, a certain part that you play in this verse that this orchestra will not be complete without. So just take that into consideration. And I'll be back with more insights. That was just a touch base on the grand scheme of things, to put it into context in that way. There is one verse. There is one rhythm, one rhythmic pattern. It's one song. And that's all we're here to do, is to get in harmony with that verse, with that song. Every other celestial body besides this one is working their rhythm. Whether or not we can see into their individual orchestras, NASA's and the United States and everybody is spending all this money to go search other planets and things like that. Leave them folks alone. Try to get the rhythm right here. But there's so much discord, we can't get on one accord. And it's throwing off the pattern. But it was already written. You know, we have to follow the score. We have to follow the verse that was written for our particular time, for our particular part, you know? So I'll see you guys again, maybe later on today. And I'll break down the different layers of I don't want to say consciousness, as people will start thinking about planes of existence and things. But I'll be back with more information. I'll see you guys again.